And blessings to all of God's children. Let's wind this thing up today. We was having a discussion about light, inner light, enlightenment. Then I came back and did another one on the pineal gland and the pituitary gland. I did a number 3, demonstrating how the manifest organic presence of God is in us through speaking about these glands and their functions. And today, I want to finish. Yesterday, I mentioned about Jacob in chapter 28 of Genesis and him having this dream with the stairway to heaven. Let me say something here. I'm speaking of universal laws here that make sense out of a lot of things in Scripture so you can better equip yourself. Because, see, the devil, satanic force, negative forces, they know this book too. And if you don't know what's going on, it's like the vampire movies when they pull out the cross and the vampire say, you don't believe in that. And he take the cross and do his thing. The point I'm trying to make is we always want to go as high as we can. The higher you go, the better you view down at what you're dealing with. Jacob in Genesis chapter 28, he had this dream, and what I want to read to you is verse 22, chapter 28 of Genesis. This is what he did after he had the dream. And this stone which I have set for a pillar shall be God's house, and of all that thou shalt give me, I will surely give 10th unto thee. Now, what he did, he declared that area Bethel. You see Bethel, that's what it is, Bethel. But we said Bethel in this language. He declared that God's house. Now, from that dream, he said, surely, and he got a little terrified. You go around God, now, it's some things gonna shake in you probably you don't know it's gonna shake. But he declared it God's house. So this happened within the context of a dream. I'm just saying, use good sense here, because see, Rasta's a reality. I speak to you as real. You make your own conclusions, draw your own conclusions. It's your life. I mean, you have a divine right to believe whatever you want to believe. But what I'm saying is, such as in Matthew, for instance, chapter 1. And I'm not trying to debunk anything. I'm trying to give you understanding how understanding. It says that the name was to be Emmanuel. The name Emmanuel means God is with us. With us. I mean, in a physical way, but with us. See, when you talk about God, you got to talk about the whole enchilada. Because there is nowhere God is not. David declares this in Psalm 139, verses 7 and 8. He said, look, where can I go from your presence? If I go up in the highest of heaven, you're there. If I go down the hottest part of hell, you're there. Listen, personal testimony. Prison is the closest physical example of what hell is. I bear witness. I spent over 42 years in those dismal crypts. Now, I'm not talking about cubs now. I'm talking about places for the dead. That is the living example of what hell is. You have excellent. No, you don't have no choice. No, you can. You can be ingenious about some things. You can. Yeah, of course. I'm saying that when we talk about hell, and I'm here to bear witness with you too, while I was in hell, God was with me. God guided me through the things that I'm speaking to you about. Now, this ain't just something I picked up last week or I saw on YouTube yesterday or something like this. I'm speaking to you because this time we must know these things. But moving from Matthew, because I'm going to cover this whole book. Not only am I going to cover this book, we're going to talk about the ancient Comedians, the Egyptians, and what have you. And because everything, let me tell you something. People has grabbed this knowledge and tailored it selfish interests, cultural interests, all types of interests. But see, here's what our responsibility is, to pick through it and see what fits us and our perception and our terminology and our missions and goals and purpose for being here. The valley of the dry bones. Ezekiel, the book of the prophets. It says, chapter 37. He said, prophecy to these bones. Dry bones are a sign, a symbol of the dead. We have walking dead people around us. However, the whole valley walking through the dry bones and what was going on, no, it's not a historical event. This is another example of how we can prophesy over our bones, even through ignorance. We done lost ourselves and find out first whose we are, then we find out who we are. See, because as Christ said again, I and the Father are one. Listen, you have 9 holes in the human body. 7 of them are in your head. One more time. 9 holes. 2 below the waist, 7 above your neck. This is why in Scripture, Christ said it like this. He said, my sheep know the sound of my voice. You have to hear. Because, see, what we see with these right here, what did he say? Until thy eyes may sing. He's talking about you increasing your inner light. This is what these sciences are for. This is what's going on here. It's for us to find those tools we need to necessarily come into our original intent. We come here fully packaged, made by a perfect God. Through our experiences, memories, feelings, and all this type, epigenetics. And it is. See, all this comes together in the knowledge of God. The knowledge of God is the knowledge of yourself. What better example could it be? So, I'm going to conclude this now, but this topic is going to come up in other different areas of my discussion, but this is why I'm here. I'm not on here to find a target group and nothing like that. No. This is way above this. Even though I'm so many inches, I'm talking about the physical body, above sea level, I'm talking about a knowledge that's millions of miles above these devils. So, this is going to conclude this particular. You are more than the skin that you are in. Energy never dies. It changes forms. I'm saying the sciences, all the great knowledges out there is coming together to a point now to support this truth. The truth is the universal laws, astronomy, as above, so below, all this, esoteric wisdom, knowledge of thought, the Hermetic truth, which is Hermes Trismegistus, all this, we are living in a time that is coming together, and we have to be warriors to regain our righteous place and our righteous understanding of ourselves. Peace and blessings, I pray that something comes out of that, blesses you richly, and helps you find yourself.